Now let us solve another question. Here we have to calculate how many stereoisomers does this molecule have, and the molecule is CH3, CH double bond, CH, CH2, CH, Br, CH3. So this molecule, if we redraw, it will be and let's draw this as this Br. Definitely we have here one chiral center. This as chiral center. Since we are having one chiral center, so n will be 1. So we can calculate that number of optical isomers by using the formula 2 to the power n. Since it is 1, so it will be 2. So 2 optical isomers possible. Also in this molecule we have double bond. So this molecule can have 2 geometrical isomers, cis and trans. Cis and trans. Hence total stereoisomers will be 2 plus 2 is equals to 4. Hence option C is the correct one. So here we have been given CH3, CH, Cl, CH2, CH3 as a chiral center. Then we have to find out which one of the following represents R configuration. In order to find R and S configuration, we should remember that by Fisher projection, the lowest priority group has to be kept in this vertical position. So if this is at this, and then let's say the first priority group is at this side, left side, then 2 and then 3, then this will be 1, 2, 3. It will be clockwise direction, so this will be referred as R configuration. And if we are having, let's say 4 at this position, and then we got first priority group at right hand side, this and then this, if it is anti-clockwise, then this configuration will be called S configuration. So based on it, let's solve this question. And if we are having this lowest priority group in this horizontal position, so this is the lowest priority group, let's say 4. Hydrogen is always kept as the lowest priority group. Since it is at horizontal position, so then we are going to swap the position. So here we are going to swap it. So let's redraw it. So we are having this C, H, then we are having C2H5 at this position, and we are having CH3 here, then we are having Cl. So we are going to swap the position, this one as well as this one. So after swapping, it will be C, Cl, this will be now C2H5, this will be now CH3, and this will be now hydrogen. So if we start counting, it will be anyway the first priority group, chlorine, the high molecular weight are given the first priority, so this is 1. Then this will be the second priority group, and this will be third priority group. So it's 1, 2 and 3. Now it is a anti-clockwise direction, so definitely this is S configuration. Then go for the second one, B. So here we have this chlorine and CH3 at horizontal position, and this lowest priority group is kept in the vertical position, so we don't need to swap here, we can just count it. So this is first priority group, this is second priority group, and this is third priority group. So this is clockwise, so definitely this is the R configuration. So we have got our answer, but let's check for the other two options also. So here we have this C2H5 and CH3. So again we are having this lowest priority group at horizontal position, so we are going to swap it. So let's check for the B is anyway R, and the C is we have this hydrogen and then we had this fluorine, then we had this CH3, and here we had this C2H5. So we have to swap the position, double swap it, and then it will be C2H5, then it is Cl, this is CH3, and now we are having this lowest priority hydrogen at vertical position. So now let's start counting. 1, 2 and 3. So again it is anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise is S. Similarly, let's check for the fourth one. So here again it is already at its vertical position, the lowest priority group. So let's start counting. It is 1, 2 and this is 3. So again it's a anti-clockwise. So this is also S configuration. This also S configuration, this also S configuration. Only option B is R configuration. Let's see another question. So here, which of the following biphenyl is optically active? Now in order to find optically active molecule, we should know that there should not be any elements of symmetry. If we found any elements of symmetry, then that molecule will not be called optically active. Now here we have this iodine and iodine present here. Now there is a possibility that this molecule can rotate through this bond, and with the rotation of this bond, now this iodine will come here. So in option A, after rotation what will happen? This iodine can come to this side. Now this will be having a plane of symmetry. As we know, this got the plane of symmetry. Now it is not optically active, not active. Optically active. Similarly, in this option B also, if we look at, here we are having this plane of symmetry. So again it's a mirror image of each other. So this plane of, because of this plane of symmetry, let's write it as POS, as a plane of symmetry. Because of this, again this is not also optically active, not optically active. Now let's check for this one. Here, if we have this plane in this way, so this molecule is again having this plane of symmetry. So this is also not optically active. Now let's check for the option D. So here we are having this bulky substituents at position 1 and 3 of this benzene. As a result, what will happen that definitely they are not going to exist in this form. It will be having that one of the benzene ring will be in plane, let's say this, and the other benzene will be orthogonal to this. So now this molecule, so we can assume that it is something like this ring. So one of the benzene ring is in this plane, however the other benzene ring is in this plane. And now this molecule will not be having any plane of symmetry or center of symmetry. As a result, this molecule will be optically active. So this is our answer, option D.